Luxury cars are supposed to represent the very best of what automakers can produce. Cutting edge technology, smooth rides, powerful engines, and that undeniable badge prestige. But in 2025, the shine is wearing off because when you peel back the glossy paint and the stitched leather interiors, what you'll find is brutal depreciation, expensive maintenance, and a financial black hole that swallows even the wealthiest buyers. Now, some of the cars we're about to cover lose more than 60% of their value in just 5 years. One luxury EV has seen its resale value collapse almost overnight as newer technology made it obsolete, and another so called status symbol, once celebrated on Wall Street and Hollywood driveways, well, it's now one of the fastest depreciating vehicles in America. So today, we're breaking down the 10 worst luxury cars of 2024 and 2025 that are a complete waste of your money. So stick with me because number one might surprise you. It's a car that still gets dreamt about, but the depreciation numbers prove that it's a financial nightmare. So, to understand why these 2024 and 2025 models are crashing in value, we need to look at what's happening in the luxury market right now. So, first off, technology is evolving at lightning speed, especially in the electric vehicle space. See, the EV you buy today, well, it could be outdated in just 2 or 3 years as competitors release models with double the range, faster charging, and newer features. Now, that obsolescence hits luxury brands the hardest because their buyers expect cutting edge. Second, reliability continues to be a major problem in this segment. See, luxury automakers love loading their cars with complex suspension systems, futuristic electronics, and software heavy features. But when these break, you're not replacing a simple part, you're writing a 5-figure check to dealer service departments. And finally, depreciation is accelerated by consumer perception. The more a brand is associated with unreliability, and here think Land Rover, Jaguar, even certain Mercedes models, the faster that buyers abandon them in the used market. Demand collapses, values sink, and suddenly a $100,000 car is worth less than $40,000 in half a decade. Now, if you think that's bad, just wait until I break down what's happening with Tesla's Cybertruck and Model X, because that story is about as brutal as it gets in the auto industry. So let's start at number 10 and work our way up to the biggest offender. So at number 10 is the 2025 Nissan Armada. Technically marketed as a rugged full-size SUV, Nissan positioned the Armada as a luxury alternative in its top trims. Now on paper, it should compete with the Escalade or the Navigator, but in practice, it's sinking like a stone. Current depreciation numbers shows the Armada loses nearly 60% of its value within just 5 years. And buyers are steering clear because of the outdated styling, the poor fuel economy, and a brand that simply doesn't carry luxury weight in a used market. On to number 9. And we're talking here about the 2025 Lincoln Navigator L. Now, this is Lincoln's extended luxury SUV, a true land yacht loaded with leather, chrome, and a big V6 power. The problem? Well, it bleeds value almost as fast as you can drive it off the lot. Data shows the Navigator L loses about 60.3% of its MSRP over 5 years. So that means if you dropped 100,000 on one today, well, you'd be lucky to get 40,000 back in 2029. And when you add in the repair and the insurance costs, well, the financial hit becomes even more painful. On to number 8. Here we're talking about the Cadillac Escalade, and that includes the larger ESV version. Now, once the pinnacle of American luxury SUVs, the Escalade is now one of the most punishing depreciators in the entire market. A 5-year loss of 62% of its value makes it look less like a status symbol and more like a financial warning sign. Now, if you throw in terrible fuel economy, sky-high maintenance costs, and the fact that rideshare companies and private fleets dump them into the used market, well, it's no surprise resale prices are tanking. Number 7 goes to the Land Rover Range Rover. Now, for decades, the Range Rover has been sold as the ultimate off-road luxury machine. And sure, it looks amazing pulling up to a hotel valet. But the repair bills are legendary, the electronics are unreliable, and owners know these SUVs spend more time in the shop than they do on the road. Again, depreciation data shows a 63% value loss in 5 years, which again is devastating. So imagine paying $120,000 for one and then struggling to sell it for $40,000 just a few years later. So coming in at number 6, we have 2024 to 25 luxury EVs from brands like Audi, Jaguar, and even Porsche. So the truth is that the first wave of electric luxury cars has not aged well. Early models with 200-mile ranges are now competing with 400- and 500-mile rivals, and nobody wants yesterday's tech in a six-figure package. Now, across the board, luxury EVs are dropping close to 60% in 5 years, and the Jaguar I-Pace is one of the worst offenders, plagued by battery and reliability issues. Audi's early e-trons are also sitting unsold on used lots because buyers want more range for less money. But if you think that's bad, just wait until you hear about Tesla, because at number 5 is the Tesla Cybertruck. Now, love it or hate it, the stainless steel wedge has become a cultural icon, but the numbers do not lie. Early trading values are showing depreciation of nearly 40% in under just 2 years. Now, that's brutal, especially when most cars only lose about 30% in their first 3 years. Now, the hype couldn't protect it from the reality of soft demand and higher than promised prices. Owners who thought they were getting an investment piece, well, they're learning that resale buyers aren't lining up the way that they expected. In at number 4, the trouble continues with luxury brand EVs like the Mercedes EQS and the Porsche Taycan. Now, these were meant to be flagship electric luxury cars, the S-Class and 911 of the EV world, but instead, they're proving to be some of the fastest depreciating cars on the entire planet. Complex tech, lackluster resale interest, and high repair costs have tanked demand. Now, one recent study showed the Mercedes EQS loses nearly 50% of its value in just the first year. Now, let's think about that and let it sink in. Half its value gone before your second annual service. So number 3 is the Infiniti QX80. Now, this is Nissan's attempt at a true luxury SUV under the Infiniti badge. The problem is that it feels old, it drives thirsty, and it can't compete with new arrivals. Owners who buy new are staring at a 65% drop in value within a few years, the single steepest decline amongst all the luxury SUVs. Now, that's a catastrophic financial loss for a vehicle that was never cutting edge to begin with. On to number 2, the Jaguar I-Pace, and it deserves a special mention. So as one of the first all-electric luxury crossovers, it generated a ton of buzz when it launched, but reality has been very harsh. Owners complain about battery reliability, software glitches, and slow charging. Now, if you combine those issues with a brutal 65% depreciation rate, and the I-Pace has gone from pioneer to pariah in just a few years. So finally, in at number 1, surprise, surprise, the Tesla Model X. Once hailed as the future of electric luxury, the Model X has become one of the worst offenders for depreciation in the entire car industry. 5-year numbers show it loses about 64% of its value, and that means if you bought one for $120,000, well, you're left with less than $45,000 of value just 5 years later. Now, if you add in expensive repair bills, Falcon wing door malfunctions that cost tens of thousands to fix, and constant competition from newer EVs with better specs, and you have a car that perfectly represents wasted money in 2025. So what's the big takeaway here? Well, the luxury market in 2025 is dangerous territory. SUVs that once seemed bulletproof, while they're losing 60% of their value in half a decade. EVs that promise cutting-edge technology are outdated almost immediately. And the prestige of a badge doesn't protect your investment when buyers on the resale market know all about the reliability nightmares and the expensive maintenance. So the truth is, if you want luxury without financial ruin, you have to be strategic. Brands like Lexus have shown they can deliver premium experiences without catastrophic depreciation. Some hybrid models from Toyota and Honda hold their value astonishingly well. But if you chase prestige for prestige's sake, well, you'll end up like the unlucky buyers who now own Bentleys and Teslas that lost half their value before they hit 30,000 miles. So there you have it. The 10 worst luxury cars of 2024 and 2025 that are a complete waste of your money. So which one shocked you the most? Was it the Range Rover dropping like a rock, the Cybertruck bleeding nearly 40% in under 2 years, or the Tesla Model X's catastrophic 5-year collapse? Do me a favor, guys, drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe so that you never miss another countdown that saves you thousands and thousands of dollars. Have a great day, financial warriors, and I'll see you guys on the next one.